this 1860 election that's coming up. This would have a huge, huge effect. So coming out of John Brown's race, most Southerners look around themselves and they say, okay, whoever the Democratic nominee is cannot waver even a little bit on slavery. We have no room for error now. The stakes are too high. There is no way we're going to support anybody who is not 100% on supporting slavery. Otherwise, they will slit our throats. These are the stakes at which we are at. And so, when this Democratic Party got together, they nominated their best candidate, Stephen Douglas, who again, I think personifies that before, in this age, it didn't matter what you look like. You could still get elected. Stephen Douglas, he's the guy who pushed through the Kansas-Nebraska Act. So what does he believe is the right solution for dealing with slavery in the territories? Yes, popular sovereignty. He thinks this is a great compromise. On the face of it, it sounds like a compromise that would work. But for Southerners, popular sovereignty was no longer good enough. That sounds to them like, we'll just let whatever happens. The John Browns of the world will go into Kansas because that decided. So Southerners said, we cannot tolerate a Stephen Douglas. So instead, you know what the South did? When the Democratic Committee came together in South Carolina and nominated Stephen Douglas as the national candidate for the Democratic Party, the southern states, the deep South states, they walk out. Texas included. They say, we're not putting up with that. We're going to nominate someone who really represents our interests. And so they say, forget Stephen Douglas, we're putting up our own Democratic candidate, John C. Breckinridge of Kentucky. And John Breckinridge, and if these states are nominating him, what do you think he stood for? What was his platform on slavery? Militant and pro-slavery. Slavery has to be allowed into all the territories. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Positive, 100%, every way you can imagine, endorsement of slavery moving west. This is what we believe because this is what we have to support. This is what Texas supports. This is what the Texas delegation throws its support behind. Let's put in another Democratic candidate. Okay, now, since we're not in 1860 and all riled up, let's think about this for a second. What have Southerners just done? Kind of right in half. Congratulations, morons. They weren't thinking, I won't say rationally, but they weren't thinking strategically as they should have, because they were desperately reacting to things around them. So instead of throwing the support upon Stephen Douglas, who was in full support of the South, very much on board with supporting the South throughout all this, they threw up Breckinridge and divide the Democratic vote in a way that would never have happened otherwise. Would never, ever have happened otherwise. And so, because of this crazy turn of events, the Republican Party suddenly is saying, oh my God, we can win. We can win this thing. Because the Democrats have shot themselves in the foot by overreacting. So, the Republican Party gets together. After all this has happened, they realize what's going on. They say, we need to nominate the most boring person we can find. Seriously. We have to find someone no one's heard of so he doesn't offend anybody. Because they need to win almost every northern state, right? So they're not looking for a fire-breathing John Brown type person. They're looking for someone who's as mild gets. Okay? Someone who you're just like, I have no idea who this person is. Backwoods lawyer from Illinois, notable basically for losing elections. For losing an election actually to Stephen Douglas for the Senate in Illinois. This guy is nominated because no one's heard of him, he is nobody, and he is not fire-breathing abolitionist. Okay? Don't think of Abraham Lincoln at this time. He changes during the Civil War, but at this time, Abraham Lincoln is not, we need freedom. Okay? We need rights for all these people. We need to live up to this whole thing of all men created equal. Abraham Lincoln, you know what the solution was to African Americans and the problem of slavery?
Ship them on.
Send them to Africa.
Liberia, Sierra Leone.
Send them to Africa. You know when Abraham Lincoln thought slavery would end? He predicted the 1960s at the earliest. So he's not looking to end this tomorrow. He's not looking for a war that's going to transform America. He's just looking to win the election and keep slavery from moving west. Everything that the Republicans are trying to do, and nothing more. Okay? So he's pretty mild. Most Northerners are like, I guess I could vote for him. How do Southerners see him? Crazy McGee. All right, this guy looks scary as hell. Why? Seriously, this is what he looks like to them. Some radical nut job. Because what's he going to do? He's going to abolish slavery everywhere. He's off his rocker. We're not listening to him. Doesn't matter what he says. And there's no relevance whatsoever. They decided I can't trust him. He said he's not going to outlaw slavery anymore. He's a liar. He'll do it anyway. So the South sees this as the fulfillment of everything they were afraid of and says to themselves, it's a good thing we nominated Breckinridge. Because look what the Republicans are putting up. Unfortunately, the South, again, being unstrategic, had failed to recognize, yes, that this was going to ensure that this guy might actually win. And as things get closer to the fall, all right, people are taking polls and trying to figure out who's going to win. It suddenly looks like Crazy McGee is going to win this thing. And this, again, scares the South so much that what's their solution? Nominate another person! Again, brilliant move, South. They nominate, this is the border states, basically, places like Virginia and Tennessee, Kentucky, places that realize that there's a war over all this, they're going to be the battleground. They nominate this guy, John Bell, as a new candidate called the Constitutional Union Party. You know who is the second place nominee for this party? Sam Houston. And what's the platform of the Constitutional Union Party? Let's just keep everything how it was. No fighting and yelling. We'll resolve this slavery thing eventually, I'm sure, but everybody calm down is basically the platform of this party. Otherwise known as, please don't elect Lincoln, we're desperate. All right? So, in 1860, you've got this crazy four-way race where the Southerners have divided up their votes among three different candidates, trying somehow to find somebody who's going to be able to overthrow Lincoln in the election of 1860. And so when the votes come back, it's exactly what you might think it would be. The South votes heavily for Breckinridge. A lot of them vote also for the Constitutional Union candidate, John Bell. The blue up there is Stephen Douglas. He gets votes almost nowhere. He gets marginalized because he's too moderate. He gets pushed out. And the red is Lincoln. Where does Lincoln get votes? The North, and only the North. But you know what? The South, in trying to stop him from being elected, had actually managed to make it possible for him to get elected. If they had just not done any of this stuff, there's no way Lincoln would have won. Not even close. But because they did, the northern states, there was enough votes for Lincoln there that he won the White House without a single Southern vote. But you know how unlikely this was? Lincoln himself knew how unlikely this was at the time. Lincoln knew that if, think about this, 1/2 of 1% of voters had voted differently in the North, Lincoln would have lost. 1/2 of 1%. That's how close we came to Lincoln not being elected in 1860. And all of this stuff that ends up happening going a completely different direction. There's nothing more unlikely that war would come right here in 1860 and 1861. Because the idea of Lincoln actually being elected is just almost laughably unlikely.